In this video, we're going to be talking about plant hormones. So there are 5 different types of main plant hormones that we find: gibberellin, auxin, ethylene, abscisic acid, and cytokinins. We're going to be talking about the function of each of the plant hormones and how they're being used daily in everyday life. First, we're going to be starting off with gibberellin. So gibberellin, when a plant is at very small, for example, when it's a seed, as you can see here, it has to germinate to be able to get food and all that. It typically gets its food from a cotyledon. A cotyledon is located inside the seed and provides the seed with nutrients. We talked about monocotyledons and dicotyledons in a previous video. However, this cotyledon has these essential nutrients to be able to get the seed enough food so that it is able to germinate. The thing with gibberellin is that the gibberellin is the hormone that makes it germinate and makes it sprout up towards the sky. Also, it is gibberellin that causes the elongation of the stem. Elongation basically means nothing but making the stem longer. So it's making the stem more stronger as well as longer so that it is able to withstand all of the other environmental conditions such as rain and bad weather. Gibberellins can mainly be located towards the middle of the plant, hence because that's where a lot of the gibberellin originated, and that's also where and also, since they're trying to extend the stem and make it stronger, it's also mainly going to be used there. Gibberellin can also be located near the shoot area. So if the leaf is forming over here, or if there's a new leaf, then for example here, then the gibberellin is going to make it grow more and more. And that's basically what the gibberellin does, near the shoots and also near the roots, where it's able to extend longer and get other nutrients from the water to be able to produce photosynthesis. Next, we have auxins. Auxins are located mainly at the shoots area at the very tip. Now, the thing is that when the plant is growing, there's something called phototropism. We talked about different types of tropism in plant, but for a recap, phototropism basically means that the plant is going to be going towards the sun. And auxin is a main reason as to why this happens. Auxin also helps with root branching as well as helps with fruit development. So things like apples, or in this situation, a banana, would have mainly used auxin to be able to get those kinds of nutrients, as well as being able to spread seeds and other kinds of fruits to other areas. Auxins typically found in the plant cells, and when sunlight hits a certain part of the cell, let's say for example, I'm going to draw a plant over here, that if sunlight comes over here, and the auxins are found in basically every single cell. So if these dots are auxin, and if the sunlight is hitting over here, then the auxins move towards the other side. So we can see this side with no auxins, but this side with auxins. And this causes elongation. And like I just said, it causes it to grow. So when the plant was like this, now what's going to happen is the plant is going to be like this, because of the phototropism. And also because of the auxins, because the auxins is moving this way, it's going to be tilting this way. Next, we're going to be talking about ethylene. Ethylene is not found in a typical chemical or a solid or any kind of form. It's the only one that's actually found in a gaseous type of form. This ethylene is released when the fruit or when the plant needs ripening. It also allows things like leaf dropping as well as the death of flowers. So ethylene is actually a growth inhibitor, but it can also be a growth promoter. So it's used at the early parts of the stage of the plant and also the late parts of the stage of the plant, because during winter the ethylene is released by the plant to be able to get the leaves to fall down, because there's not going to be that much sunlight. And also during the death of flowers, the ethylene makes the flower wither away so that it can stay as long as possible and being able to keep its nutrients. Now, the thing with ethylene is that it can also be a growth promoter, because it causes the fruits to ripen. So in this situation, if I have a ripe banana and an unripe banana, the ripe banana releases the gas ethylene, because there's so much ethylene that causes that banana to ripen much more faster. So it's basically like a chain reaction. If you were to put 4 unripe bananas but 1 ripe banana, the 4 unripe bananas would ripen much more faster than if the 4 unripe bananas were there without the ripe banana. This is the only gaseous hormone. Next, we have abscisic acid. The abscisic acid is very useful. Although it inhibits seed germination, it's important because if the seed germinates in like a time like when there's a drought, the seed would automatically die because there would be very little water for it to survive. Now, the thing with the abscisic acid is it needs the water to rub the abscisic acid off the seed. Once it's rubbed off, this gives the plant desirable conditions so that it's able to rise up and germinate using the gibberellin hormone. However, if there's no water, this can automatically signal that there's probably a drought or there's not that much water coming in the area, and that growing right now would not be a best stage for the plant. Only when it's raining a lot, then the plant would assume that it's the best stage and it would shoot up using the gibberellin hormone. But the abscisic hormone mainly inhibits seed germination. It also inhibits growth and reproduction, as in the sense like fruits, and also make sure that the stomata, which we can find in a leaf, these small openings are called stomata, and it's what mainly leads to transpiration, such as water being evaporated from the plant. It closes that stomata so that in case if the plant doesn't have that much water, it'll try to conserve that water, and it will stop the gas exchange between the carbon dioxide and oxygen. So we can see leaves, fruits, roots, tips, and seeds mainly having this abscisic acid, and abscisic acid mainly inhibits growth. And lastly, we have cytokinins. Cytokinins basically cause rapid cell division using mitosis. It kind of works with auxin. It's located near auxin because auxin is growing, but the thing is, auxin's having elongation, but cytokinins cause the plants to germinate a lot more faster. And the thing with that is, they're able to create new branches and are also able to create these leaf buds. And these leaf buds later grow using the gibberellin to create bigger leaves and can allow much more higher development of photosynthesis. Cytokinins are mainly found in roots and fruits. The roots are able to grow while the fruits are able to ripen and also being able to grow also a lot more faster. So in this video, we talked about the plant hormones, the 5 different plant hormones, their functions, and also how they're important to the plant in everyday use.